We are live, and I am looking for us live on YouTube. I want to see what we could do to really get the word out there about the YouTube channel because we made a change. We moved things over to the Live with Brent and Mike YouTube channel, and we've not seen as much participation in the comments, and I have a hard time with that. And the reason I've got a hard time with it is I feel like, ooh, we should have more people should be coming here. More people should be aware of this thing that we're doing and how this is all kind of coming together. And they're not. So that is one of the things that. So I'm going to hit on my YouTube channel so that I can add in some comments in here.
Yeah, well, I posted I posted on X this morning.
Oh, cool.
But I don't know how many L&D people are even on X anymore. I think they all bailed.
I would, well, it's awesome. The first version that pops up is the one that was streamed 2 days ago or 12 days ago. So, all right, that's not the right one.
When you search it, you mean?
There we go. Yeah, it was more. Now we've got it right, but which is always fun to look at me, look at me, look at me, looking at me, looking at me, looking at me.
Oh yeah, you gotta love that.
Yeah. So anyway, I got to see Josh Cavalier yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice. How's he doing?
He's doing good. He was in a local event. I hadn't had no. It's a I forget the acronym, but it's an association.
It's a leadership thing that I'd never heard about.
It's an association of training providers. That's basically what they are.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
They're out there providing training out into the workplace and just trying to figure out how to improve their business as trainers out in the workplace. And that's the niche, is that they're the trainers that are out there in the workplace training the people. And they're all kinds of trainers. Like the guy that was at one of the guys that was at the baseball game yesterday was is the supervisor training in manufacturing and distribution centers. So, and what was super interesting about that is he had said that in a lot of cases, the people that go through this stuff, it's the first time that they've ever been trained, that they've had this kind of training. Or first time, he said first time that they've trained, not that they had this kind of training, which I thought was interesting. So, I mean, if you think about some of the people, who would you typically think of is working in a manufacturing plant as a supervisor at a manufacturing plant, or a supervisor in a distribution plant? They're the person who kind of went in there, they started doing the work. They were basically told, hey, look, bring your gloves, move these things around. The stuff goes from here. Make sure the thing doesn't go down. If somebody ever has to get on one of the belts, do the lockout, tag out, like all of that kind of stuff. It just kind of moves along. And then, hey, you're pretty good at it, and guys like you, or the girls like you, or whatever. How'd you like to be a supervisor? And I mean, I remember back in the day when I was working on one of the belts at UPS. The joke was, this is my supervisor, like the kind of like the stupid visor type thing. And so it takes you back and you kind of forget that kind of environment. But the question I asked him is, I said, how well do they do with taking what they learn in the classroom in that environment and take it back into the work? Like, what happens when they get back in the work? And, he made the same comment that a lot of people ask when I ask questions, and a lot of them are just trying to create space. But it's like, well, that's a really good question, and then we kind of talked through it, and it had a really good. I mean, I think one of the coolest
assessment, no follow up assessments on whether or not they did a level 3 or level 4 Kirkpatrick.
We did not actually talk about Kirkpatrick yesterday. It was kind of shocking. I mean, I don't understand why Kirkpatrick doesn't come up in more of those side conversations, especially at a baseball game. You know, it is. But the other reminder is, baseball is an awesome sport or event. Game. Some people argue whether or not it's a sport type thing, but anyway, it's a great place to go and have a conversation.
Yeah, because it's so damn slow and boring.
You know, it's it's slow and boring with excitement baked in that is unscheduled. And from a psychology perspective, unscheduled positive reinforcement is a great way to condition people and get people hooked on things. I mean, it's one of the reasons why people stay stuck in bad relationships. They become addicted to things like gambling. It's unscheduled positive reinforcement. So when you're training your dog to do something, don't always give it the same treat each time, because if you do, they just start to get bored with it. And well, not my dogs. They still like, they hear the word treat, and with their ears they probably are wondering what all is going on. um Craig, life is hectic. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. So it's awesome. I have never scored a baseball game.
Never?
Never. Yeah.
I've never done that
I mean,
before either. I know people who do it, but I always wondered why. I mean, I've seen dads doing it with their kids, trying to get them really into baseball. But I wasn't that dad.
6-3-2 double play, like that kind of stuff. I like it. Just it's nuance, it's detail. I guess it's something you do to pass the time. So it's America's pastime.
Yeah.
I'd rather pass the time having a conversation with someone. And
Yeah.
The negative is then everybody else in the ballpark's got to hear that same. I mean, not everyone, but everybody in the immediate vicinity. So for those who don't know, it's spring training right now in Arizona, and there's the Cactus League is going on, and we went to. I met up with Josh Cavalier and a couple of people from the event that he's at that were at a Cubs Guardians game out here in Arizona. It's an Omni Control thing. Huh. Omni Control. That is a band.
I get it.
What do you think? Omni Control?
No, I really got to look at the comment just before that.
Oh. It helps me see the whole game at once. Hold on. Go back in and look. So you assess, you gather the data, you assess the data, you kind of reflect on what it means and what might happen next, and then do something with it. Nice work, Craig.
And then you teach your kid how to gamble, how to place a bet on what you know. Okay, now that it's the fourth inning, see, here's what you do: you look back and you see how they've been doing, and you can kind of guess how well they're going to do at their next at bat. So here's what you're going to place. Or not. And by the way, folks, if you're just joining in or if you're watching the recording, we do kind of banter before we get to the news. So it's okay. You didn't miss anything.
No. Actually, for some of you, this might be the best part.
For some people, yeah. Yeah. Maybe the news isn't the thing you're most interested in. Who knows? But yeah, for those of you that are new, boy, are you going to enjoy this. It's a ton of fun.
So check this out. Hold on.
Ooh, it showed up. It's very shiny.
My new machine,
ladies and gentlemen, the new MacBook Pro.
So, my new machine is here, which means I'm going to take this machine that I've used, that I've been working on for a couple of years, and rotate it through the business. And rotate it through the business just means somebody else in the family gets an upgrade. And what I'm going to take is one of the old MacBook Pros that we have, one of the old M1 Pros, just to demonstrate that you can do this on older technology. And I'm going to build my own local Claude. I think that's where I'm sitting, but my local Claude instance. And the focus there is what I want to do is I want to have my own little machine sitting here by my side that can do my bidding. And what I mean there is I'm going to take
Are you going to fire Jen?
Like huh?
Are you going to fire Jen?
I'm not going to fire Jen. I'm going to accelerate our capabilities. I'm going to take what I want to do is be able to take raw audio and video like this, the separate feeds, put it onto the machine, and have the machine do all the editing.
Nice.
So I am getting a little bit of echo, a little bit of sound pickup off of your. Actually, hold on. That might have been my phone. That's awesome. I thought it was coming off of your phone on the microphone. It was my phone, just a little bit too loud. There we go. Whew. One of those days, man. I'm beat. I usually get to bed about 9 o'clock at night, 9:15. Last night I did not get home until just after 10. It was a late night.
I feel you.
Should we get into the news?
We should probably get into the news. Yeah. What the heck? Let's launch this thing. Oh, do you have your script ready?
Brent, I'm a professional. That's yes.
Ah, okay. Well, the reason why I ask is to stall because I don't have mine ready.
Oh. Okay.
But okay, here we go.
Send it to me.
It's time for today's headlines.
Good morning, L&D world. I'm Brent.
And I'm turned off my freaking script. And I'm Mike. It's Tuesday. If it wasn't in the teleprompter, I wouldn't know who I am. It's Tuesday, March 17th. We've got a show so packed with data that your hippocampi are going to need a smoke break.
First up, our breaking news.
Today's breaking news.
Everyone is talking about the congressional hearing on building an AI-ready America. Basically, the government finally noticed that nobody knows how to use the magic AI button at work. No, I need to keep going. Sorry. The House subcommittee says 44% of worker skills will vanish into the AI void within 5 years. Their solution? Employer-led training, which is DC code for we have no idea how to fix this. So L&D, it's on you. Mike, they're basically calling us the Avengers of the economy.
Yeah, if the Avengers spent 4 hours a day arguing about whether a course should be a SCORM file or an XAPI wrapper.
But wait, the real biggest...
Me, dude.
What? Oh.
Yeah, it's
that's you. Sorry.
Gemini is like overproducing today. It's adding in like camera, like things in the middle of our script, which is throwing Brent and I off because we're always just go like we 1-2 punch our way through this. But wait, the real biggest story in tech today, and I'm not kidding, is that a rogue AI agent accidentally bought 10 million shares of a fidget spinner company because it misinterpreted mental health break.
How does that relate to L&D, Mike?
Easy. It's a teachable moment about prompt engineering and financial governance. If your AI doesn't know the difference between a spinning class and a fidget spinner, you've got a compliance nightmare. Also, our new 2026 onboarding module is now just a 10-minute video on how to not let the robot spend the pension fund.
Oy vey. Moving to tech and innovation. CHROs are being told to stop acting like IT managers and start acting like CEOs.
Specifically, the agentic workflow is here, and we aren't just building courses anymore. We are managing AI agents that handle benefits, policy, and coaching. The Bursted report, which dropped today, man, it just keeps dropping every day. Josh says the entry-level roles aren't dying. They're becoming sophisticated orchestrators. Actually, I like sophisticated orchestrators a little bit better than architects.
That is better, yeah. Which means your new hire isn't learning how to file a report. They're learning how to coach the AI that files the report. It's like being a manager on your first day. No pressure, Gen Z.
Now for some human capital and culture. A massive 20-year study just proved that speed of processing training reduces dementia risk by 25%.
This is huge for L&D. For years, we've focused on what people know. Now neuroscience is telling us that how fast the brain processes information is the real health metric.
Exactly. Imagine a wellness program where the step goal is actually a neural firing goal. Sorry, boss, can't make the meeting today. I am doing my 20 minutes of brain sprints to ensure I remember where I parked in 2046.
You know what's wild? This keeps moving so fast. I keep forgetting to drop in our little musical interludes.
I know it's kind of an interesting test to kind of go through. This is going to be one of those days where we got to go back and say, what do we remember? What do we remember about what we wrote, what we read? But I like the pace.
Yeah, I do too. It is much quicker. But we'll try it out. I'll drop in a tune here for the industry.
All right.
And now a random industry with an L&D problem. Solving the L&D.
Time for our industry-specific deep dive. We're looking at pharmaceuticals. There is a $300 billion, yes with a B, construction boom happening right now. Eli Lilly, Merck, and GSK are building mega-plants across the U.S.
The catch, these plants are digital twins and bioreactors that require skills 90% of the current workforce does not have. L&D in pharma isn't about slide decks anymore. It's about VR simulations of sterile environments where one sneeze cost $2 million.
So if you're an instructional designer who knows how to design for clean room protocols, you're officially more valuable than a Bitcoin miner. Hey, I can do that. Am I more valuable than a Bitcoin miner?
Just remember, Brent, value is in the eye of the beholder.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is.
And now for the news in authoring tools.
And finally, the authoring tools and platforms update. The big one, Workday has officially acquired Sana for $1.1 billion.
Boom. The AI native LMS is no longer a startup dream. It is the corporate standard. This follows infrastructure's global rollout of Canvas Ignite AI this month.
If your authoring tool doesn't have an agentic workflow that builds the course, grades the quiz, and then pokes the learner on Slack until they finish it, you're basically using a stone tablet and a chisel.
I just want an AI that can attend the meeting that could have been an email for me. That's the real billion-dollar acquisition.
Yeah, indeed it is. Sorry, I forgot to change screens. That's the brief for this Tuesday. We're out of time because Mike's AI agent just booked him a flight to Tahiti on the company card.
It said I look stressed in my webcam feed. I'm just following the data, folks.
Go learn something today. We will see you tomorrow.
The clock just struck, the news is done. Now it's time to have some fun. Forget the spreadsheets and the charts. We're learning new things for our hearts. Whoa, a Tuesday training day. We're all here to sing and play. A Tuesday training day. Let's hear the music and hooray!
We did that one for you, Craig.
What?
I said we did that one for you, Craig.
Because it is St. Patrick's Day. Come on.
It is St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. All right. So, okay. Up at the top, just kind of the quick overview. Workday's $1.1 billion power move, acquisition of Sana, sets the stage for AI native LMS wars. That's cool. the LMSs are going to war while the growth of the LMS space, at least based on yesterday's headlines, increases at a rate faster than the S&P. The brain speed revolution, a new 20-year study, proves cognitive speed training slashes dementia risk. I actually like that one. I want to go into that one a little bit further. Pharma Mega-Plants, a $300 billion construction boom, creates a massive upskilling crisis in sterile manufacturing. And then Congress recap, DC admits the AI skills gap is a national emergency and puts the ball in L&D's court. Just what we need. There's nobody better to go out there and solve business problems than L&D. Why are you laughing, Brent? Sorry. Come on, man. I'm trying to be serious here.
If there is one particular organization that is absolutely worse at it than L&D, it's Congress.
So, well, that's good. They've gone to the bullpen. It's kind of like, L&D, come in here. We got to get you. We need a left-hander. We need you in here. It's funny. You know, the place that I hear L&D, the capabilities of L&D to solve all of this stuff typically end up being at L&D conferences, not in businesses. So like in the business, when you're like, ooh, we've got this problem, let's go ahead and organize the Avengers L&D team. At the event, though, it will tell you how you can get a seat at that table. And
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, I made a comment to somebody yesterday. I think they were referring to this. It kind of just, I sometimes have to get a little cheeky and poke the bear on LinkedIn with folks, but it's like, there is nothing new that we need to create. There's nothing new that needs to be built, that needs to be done. We know we've been doing this for decades. We know how to fix lack of knowledge and lack of skills. So skills gaps and knowledge gaps. That's where we exist. That's what we do. That's what we've been doing forever and ever and ever. All you have to do is ask us and tell us what you're trying to fix. It's not like we need another tool or we need another thing or we need a new framework or we need to watch a few more keynotes and go to a few more conferences, watch a few more YouTubes. No, the industry has been around long enough to be able to fix this stuff, and everybody's acting like, holy crap, we've got to do something about fixing this skills gap. We've got to go. It's like, what have we been doing for the last 50 years if we haven't been fixing skills gaps?
Right. Understanding it.
Just drives me nuts.
Identifying it, and then fixing it. And then doing it again because you did it so well that somebody else taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, you really helped me out with this thing. Can you help me out with this other thing? It's all just variables. Deconstruct, isolate, solve for, it's got me fixing or filling. I think that's an interesting one from Craig's perspective. I think it depends. And there's a shocking 2x2 that we can go to help kind of look at this. And this one comes from, he's a coach, a lifting coach, and in Utah named Dan John, former discus thrower. He also played football in college, does strength and conditioning and some at the university and Olympic level. Anyhow, he's got his process outcome matrix. On his x-axis, you have, is it needed to win? So we draw a line across your whiteboard. Is it needed to win? Yes or no? And then on the y-axis, can it be improved? Yes or no? If it's needed to win and it can be improved, then improve it. If it's needed to win and it can't be improved, now you've got to go ahead and fill the gap. You got to go hire somebody else, right? You got to, like, it's just outside of your capability. For those of you who've not met me in person, I'm not built to dunk a basketball. I'm built to run through stuff and create as much damage as possible while running through those things. Brent, you're laughing. Would you attest to the fact that I am not built to dunk a basketball and that
I don't know. I think if you worked at it hard enough, Mike, I think you could get there. I really do. I'm confident in your skills.
So I think that's really important. And Craig, it's how do you make the decision? Like, are we going to fill or are we going to fix? Does it need to be fixed or do we need to fill? Yeah. I mean, it's it's kind of interesting.
I've been attempting to do the same thing, and it cuts it off here in the live stream. But for those people that are watching online, Craig says a few years back, I really started taking a look at the words I used in both writing and speaking. I take caution in using any words that directly or subliminally shows negativity. And I attempt to do that as often as I possibly can, but sometimes I slip.
Who said something negative?
I don't know. I may have been a little bit negative towards our skills gap conversation. Maybe that's what triggered Craig. I don't know.
I'm kind of wondering.
Or maybe the fill over fix.
Craig, are you saying fix is negative? Ooh, this could be a fun conversation.
Fix the gap or fill the gap. I think it's two different moments of need if we're to go in and do a Bob Mosier, right? Like if you're trying to fill the gap, you're taking a bunch of people who have never done this job before and you're teaching them something they do not know. If you're fixing the gap, you're taking a bunch of experienced folks that have been doing it one way for a very long time, but there's a new and better way to do things, or there's an added feature or something that those people need to learn. And so you need to fix the skill discrepancy.
I agreed. Yeah. I think that to me is how I interpret that, but I never really thought about one being negative or the other one, other than, hey, Craig, if you want to spend some time with me over a couple of coaching sessions, I can fix you. And it will be fulfilling. Like, yeah, I guess it's intention, it's connotation, it's the way it's delivered, it's the background. And that's where I think a simple tool like that process outcome matrix becomes pretty powerful, because you could look up on the board and be realistic about it. Is this skill needed to win? Yes or no? Can we improve the skill with our current team? Yes or no? If it's needed to win and it can't be improved, then we've got to hire more people. It's not that our people, it's not that we don't have good people inside the business. It's just we don't have the right people inside the business, right? And that's part of the leadership challenge, making decisions and not trying to. I've talked about this in this context. Don't try to fit your square peg in my round hole. There's enough fucking square holes out there, right? There we go. I dropped a somewhat F-bomb.
I still don't have my F-bomb animation yet. That'll be next. And by the way, I don't appreciate that you guys don't like the music I create for you. I put a lot of effort into creating the musical mixes for each episode. It hurts my feelings.
In my head, I'm like, oh, when is it going to end? Yeah, like it's not like the whole breaking news and then it's gone. It's like, and now the news will come to you from our friend named Brent, and it will be pulled across through whatever.
Listen, they're shorter than they were, and we're working on it. So far, AI has not figured out how to do short, zippy little stingers yet. So, just when it can figure it out, I will shorten it up and make you a nice little stinger.
A little ditty.
Until that time, folks, if you're watching, the whole entire show is, mostly, 60% of the time, it works 100% of the time, is our AI executive producer. So that's AI is what makes this show possible by finding all of the top stories for the day, writing the script, creating our graphics, and also creating our musical interludes between segments.
I like this. Let's throw this, but do the work masses need to know? Let's throw that comment up there because I think that's a kind of an interesting one.
Oh, I hit the wrong one. Wow, why'd that show up there? That's weird. I'm going to edit on the fly, folks. Never mind the moving things on the screen.
Oh, wow, look at that. I like the bigger text there, but it was the one before. It was, so what Craig said is, but do the work masses need to know the difference between fix and fill to management? Can you use fill or avoid? Here's the problem that I've got. I think we're so worried about everybody's feelings that we lose track of there's a job to be done. Like what do people want over time? So if we talk about why do people go and do the work that they do, just in your experience, Brent, like why do people, and I know you're moving stuff around, so I don't know if you're paying attention here, but
no, I'm listening to you. Yeah.
Why do people, even if they're not compensated well, why do people stay in roles or in organizations? So what's a reason why people stay in roles or in organizations, even if they could make more money doing something else?
Well, if they can make more money doing something else, I guess is the catch there.
Okay, so let's just assume in this one, someone stays in a role even though they could make more money doing something else. Why would someone do that?
Because they like the people they work with and they like the work and they feel productive.
Yeah, they feel like they're making an impact, right? They feel they've got a different, there's another motivation factor. There's some kind of other motivation factor, right? So something else is motivating. Craig has said we're going in the wrong direction. You guys are going in the wrong direction. I get that fix over fill is functionally different, but there's no need to share that need to the masses and use the word fix. You could, yeah. So here's my point. And I think we're going in a direction, whether it's wrong or right. Reach out to the team, explain that there's a gap, and see if anybody can fill the gap, and use the word fill to just. Yeah. So I think we just there are people who do work purely because they like to do the work. Mm-hmm. That's it. Like they like to do the work. And unfortunately, there are some people who are out there who really like to do the work who aren't the best people to do that work. And when companies grow and people have to start to specialize in order to create scale inside those organizations, sometimes you're asked to no longer do certain work that you really like doing. And then at some point you just decide maybe it's time for me to move on, or maybe it's time for me to do something different. But I think this is one of those where are we coddling people too much by trying to manipulate the language we use to make them feel a little bit better about the training that's happening or the environment that we're putting them in? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, to blend two stories together, do we have, is this really an AI skills gap, or is it a massive upskilling crisis?
Well, but is it a people skills gap, right? It's not an AI skills gap, right? It's not that the AI has the gap.
Well, according to Congress, there's a gap in people's skills in understanding how to work with AI.
Yeah. And I don't need Congress to tell me that there's a gap in people's skills in working with a level of intelligence.
Yeah. But there is you do need Congress in order to make a play for all the money that they're going to dish out to all of the companies to build all the training that is going to fill the skills gap. So if you want to get in on the money grab, then that's where it's at.
If you happen to be one of those people who knows how all of that works, please contact us. I would love to get in on the money grab and actually make an impact at the same time.
There isn't a snowball's chance in hell anybody that knows how to do it will ever share that particular knowledge.
Why?
Why would they want competition in the money grab?
I literally walk around the world with Buddy the Elf perspective. Like, I'm like, if we share, we could actually help him actually make positive change out there. But man,
I did that for too many decades. Yeah. And it just ended up, look where it got me, doing a live stream with Mike. Come on.
Are you saying we have not arrived?
We shall re-arrive. Hey, you know what? We've got stories on the cutting room floor. Maybe there's some fun ones.
So why is the Burson report released every day?
I don't know. I mean, maybe what happens is they do a blog post every single day on one of the elements of it, and then the blog post references it, and then when the AI is searching, it finds it and thinks that it just got released. Either that or they're extremely productive over there and they are cranking out the reports on the daily. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, so, 10 stories we missed. Let's run those down. Okay. AI authenticity premium. Investors are now paying a premium for ed tech companies that prove human in the loop AI. Smart manufacturing outlook. 80% of execs plan to dump 20% of budgets into agentic AI for the factory floor. The black box compliance risk. SEC warned firms that using unexplainable AI for training records is a high-risk move. Aging brain resilience. New research on from CNS Vancouver shows depression-linked memory loss can be mitigated by keyword retrieval practice. Tariff tensions in HR, Canvas Ignite AI launch, inclusive design trends, micro-learning in the workflow. Oh, this one came up. Why does this one come up again? Shift from courses to nudges. AI-driven prompts are replacing the 30-minute e-learning module.
I like the one on I mean, what came to mind when we read the story in the news, and then it as said that one was cut on the cutting room floor. They're both related to the brain side of things, but
the aging brain resilience.
Yeah, like you being able to play things like Tetris on your phone and like quickly kind of move things in time and space in order to build up some blocks, and how that, for a couple of things it does for me when it creates a little bit of a release, like just kind of let my mind wander while going through and do it. But I didn't really think about the speed of the synapsing and how that ultimately helps with long-term neuroplasticity and the aging brain. But I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. How can we find more space for people to stay sharp?
It's a health and human resources issue. But yeah, it's supposed to help.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual new data is that we skipped, but
how do you stay sharp?
How do we stay sharp?
How do you stay sharp?
Oh, I don't try. I don't think about it.
just
I'm having a hard time just keeping up with my 100 push-ups a day challenge. So
how's that going?
It's good. Yeah. I don't hit 100 every day, but I get to at least 50. I do them in blocks of 25, and I get to 50 by the end of the day, typically, on average, I've discovered. But for some reason, the day runs out.
Yeah. I've been working on building up towards starting to deadlift heavy again. And
boy,
yeah,
my back just screamed hearing that.
Yeah. Well, so that's what it was. Like over a bit of time, it's like doing RDLs or Romanian deadlifts, stiff-legged deadlifts for a couple of weeks, higher rep, relatively low weight, just kind of getting things kind of warmed up and comfortable. And I did 335 for 2 sets of 5 singles. And when I say 5 singles, meaning bring the weight to the floor, stop, and then go up again. So 5 singles inside a set, 2 sets at 335, and I feel pretty good. My technique was a little bit off. I got to work on some hip flexibility, but it feels good. It feels good to move heavy shit. It feels good to move.
It definitely does. And just trust me when I say, in about 10 years, you're going to be glad you moved all that heavy shit now and prepped your body for what is in store. So let me just say that.
All I want is my golf game to continue to get better.
There you go. Then just stay strong and flexible. That's it. Don't stop pumping the iron. Stop trying to get big, all that. Strength, flexibility, period. Those are the only 2 things you need.
If my golf game continues to improve, then there's a high likelihood that I can kind of get up off the floor, play with grandkids, do all those kind of things way back then. I have no interest in doing any of that right now. My kids have a hard
time. You need to do yoga,
doing,
Mike. Yoga will level up your getting up off the floor game big time.
Maybe we should have a yoga segment.
No.
You don't want to do a yoga segment?
No, I believe what we call this right now is a digression. And I was just reading through the stories we missed, and to Craig's point, I wanted to ignore it because I feel like I'm going to go negative on it, but I can't. Every time I look over at the list of the top 10 stories, that's the one that keeps jumping out. So let me attempt to be positive in this particular story. The story is the inclusive design trends. It's a new focus on neuro-inclusivity as a core requirement for 2026 authoring tool RFPs. Mike, how does that make you feel?
I don't have feelings. That's the kind of inclusivity that I'd like. Let's include the people who don't have feelings.
What is neuro-inclusivity, and how does it work itself into an authoring tool?
And how do you know?
Like, how do you measure that? How do you measure if your authoring tool has neuro-inclusivity?
Well, and are we saying, like, I don't know, maybe we need to get some brain scientists on here, some of the wicked smart people that are out there who know this stuff a little bit better.
I could click on the source, but I don't want to. I so don't want to. But I'm going to go, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this into the YouTube thing.
All right.
There. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, shoot. And it didn't actually drop the link in there. It just, well, go to where it says source and just do a Google search for that or something. Or I'll drop it into the Slack too. So, because the Slack will keep the link.
I'm very RFPs. Ugh.
Yeah. I think that it's just, it gave me,
Craig, when you say you're working on an RFP right now, does that mean you're like taking all the paperwork from the RFP, throwing it into some LLM and asking it to answer the questions?
No, he's probably doing it legit.
Well,
like doing it by himself, like by hand, like making sure everything is perfect.
Writing the RFP or responding to the RFP?
Oh, well, that we haven't clarified that part yet. Okay. That's that, just in case it's not showing up for folks.
Neural inclusivity.
Like, what is it? I think, what is that, and how does an authoring tool have it? Like, and is it for the person that's going to be authoring the training, or are they asking that the tool have the capability to build things within your course that supports users, that's inclusive to a neurodiverse user base?
What is neuro-inclusivity? Neuro-inclusivity, also commonly written as neuro-inclusivity, neuro-inclusion, or neuro-inclusive practices, is a practice of actively designing environments, workplaces, education systems, services, and social spaces so that people with all kinds of neurological cognitive styles can participate fully, feel valued, and thrive without being forced to hide or suppress their natural ways of thinking and processing. It builds on neurodiversity paradigm, which views neurological differences, autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, etc., as natural human variations rather than deficits or disorders that need to be fixed. There's that word again.
Yeah, but I guess that's what I'm curious about in this particular article. If it's in the RFP for the authoring tool, is it so that people who are neurodiverse can use the authoring tool, or are they asking that the products that can be created using the authoring tool can be used by the end user of the product that gets pumped out of the authoring tool?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I'm overthinking it, and we should.
Well, it's kind of interesting. Like, I'm just going through. So I dropped this into Grok, and I just asked the question, "Hey, what is X?" Right, and then my follow up question was, "How would an authoring tool use this?" And it gets into the regular players, and it gets into things like UDL, Universal Design for Learning, and neuro-inclusive best practices, suggesting plain language, short paragraphs, active voice, headings for better readability, prompting. But yeah, I don't know if the RFP is there about, hey, do you have the tool that can do it, or is it that the tool has an output that's designed to meet the requirement, or the tool is set up so that the people who are putting the inputs in are going to be able to use it most directly. Wait, doesn't learning styles go against "we need to stop caring about people's feelings"? Mike Simmons. I did not. I could see some guy named Mike saying something like that.
I could totally see that. Before we run out of time, let me just drop us back to the number 2 story we missed. And it kind of relates to one of our tech and innovation story, the smart manufacturing outlook. According to Deloitte, 80% of execs plan to dump 20% of budgets into agentic AI for the factory floor.
Okay.
Are we seeing that? Are you seeing that?
Not yet. I'm not seeing the motion yet. I don't know though. Like, it's I'm not seeing it in the market, but that just may be where I'm operating. It's the
But it said, okay, so they plan to dump, so 80% of those execs plan to dump at least 20% of their budgets into agentic AI. Now, I'm wondering if that agentic AI is to help run the manufacturing floor, or if it's agentic AI for L&D. And I actually clicked this link because I don't mind reading this one.
I mean, when I really cared about the budgeting side of things, this would fall into not me moving budget from one area to another. It would fall into me creating budget for a new thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because they're not going to cancel one of their big enterprise software deals to put the money towards agentic AI unless it's an increase, unless that particular enterprise software vendor is adding it and they're going, hey, in order to get our cool new feature, you got to pay 20% more.
Yeah, well, and could you imagine someone coming out and saying, "Hey, in order to get our cool new feature, you got to pay 20% more," especially with all the vibe coders that are out there right now. Like, hold on, let me go. I got an awesome set of tools. I could just vibe code this thing. We'll be good to go.
My dad's a TV repairman.
He's got an awesome set of tools. I can fix it. So that's, for me, this would be going and creating budget, not moving budget around.
So talent, sorry to just jump back into what Deloitte's talking about. Talent is the number 5. So their 2026 Manufacturing Industry Outlook report, the number 1 thing is smart manufacturing and operations, which is what I was originally thinking. And then there's supply chain. So new digital tools can offer transformative solutions for managing global supply chain. And then there's manufacturing investment, new incentives, the data center boom, and continued demand for semiconductors drive investment and growth. Then there's aftermarket services. Agentic aftermarket services could transform the customer experience. And then there's talent. An adaptive workforce planning framework could help address uncertainty and increasing skill requirements. So if anybody wants to go do a deep dive on that Deloitte article in manufacturing, it actually looks pretty cool. But I think this has shown up
Slack
before.
Yeah, well, drop it in the Slack. There's going to be a lot of this stuff that's going to continue to.
It always reshows.
I mean, I think that's another one of those things where it's like the. So I mentioned I was talking to Josh yesterday, and Josh Cavalier, and if you're not following him on LinkedIn, make sure you follow him. He's doing some really interesting stuff in this space. He's worked with a number of people working with a number of people we know, including folks like Debbie Richards and Sam Rogers and a couple of other folks that are out there. He anecdotally, he said, if he was in front of a group of people and he asked a question about their use of a tool, a year ago, 5% of the people in the room might have raised their hand. Today, that number is closer to 20 to 25%. So in a year, we're seeing
an AI tool or any tool?
Not an AI tool, and more specifically, a more complicated AI tool within the tool. So to see that type of growth year over year from an awareness perspective, to me, is a good indicator.
Yeah,
it's a good indicator that people are out there actually starting to use the tools and starting to really think about, hey, what can we build in this area? It doesn't mean that they're necessarily using it effectively.
Yeah,
but awareness is really, really important. Like, starting with that level of awareness, even knowing that something is out there, is different than not being aware or.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then
it's a good reminder that just because we're using it and just because the bubble of experts in the industry that we typically are connected mostly to are doing it and are deep diving in on this. And, now everybody knows a guy that's building his own little cohort on a new laptop that he got, or on the old laptop because he got a new laptop.
I wouldn't put it on the new laptop. It's a very expensive test to put it on the new laptop.
So very, very, very few people are at that point, given what Josh mentioned. I mean, I would have thought that he would have said that his current percentage was way more than 25%. But if he went from hardly anybody raising their hand a year ago to only 25% raising their hand today, that's a little bit shocking to me. But at the same time, it's not every time I get out there in the real world and start talking to people and realize some people just don't even know it's a thing yet. I'll still start talking to grok, and they'll be like, what? What's a grok? You can talk to it? Why do you talk to it? What do you say? And it's just like, wow. Okay. So I forget people aren't in the same conversations and into the same tech and in the same world that we happen to function in on a daily basis.
Right. And more people are starting to come into it too.
Yeah, but it's slower than the tech, right? Everybody freaks out. You see, you're scrolling through LinkedIn and you see something that says, if you're not here, then you're behind and you're gonna lose your job. And you're
wow, you sound like our producer. You sound like our producer.
Sorry, I'm getting negative, Craig. Come on. Yeah, put the slap Brent emoji in there and get him back to something more positive.
You know what's gonna be kind of funny is what's the over under on number of months that I do this thing and I test and I'm kind of building in the background where I decide, ooh, this is so good. I need to put the new machine as the local brain that's going on inside the business, and I'll go back and start using the old machine because this piece of wetware just needs to do this.
I don't think it's gonna happen at all.
You don't think so?
No, you're gonna end up discovering things that you wish you hadn't discovered. You're going to run into roadblocks that are such a huge pain that you're going to be like, why does everybody make it sound so easy when it's actually not as easy as everybody's telling me? And it's going to scare the crap out of you what it can do on your old laptop. And there's not a snowball's chance in hell you're going to say, yeah, I want this running on my new laptop.
Oh, dude. So that's good. Okay. Let's I would like to see in the comments at some point in time here, what do we think the over under is and how does that over under change? It's like we're going to have a Polymarket watch on this thing.
Yeah, no, it's not going on your new laptop. I guarantee
it's not going on the new laptop?
No.
All right. You think I'd probably go pick up a mini before putting it on the new laptop?
There you go. It needs its own world. It has to have its own world to live in, or else it's going to freak you out.
Oh no! But what I meant is like me moving. So I go back to the M1 as my primary laptop and have it operate on the new laptop.
Because I don't know why you would want to do that unless to get more firepower because it's got a better processor. But yeah,
better memory, better access to memory. Speed. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm super curious to know how your experiment goes. I am with bated breath waiting for every single grumpy text message from you.
That's awesome. What is the hand pink waving? Is that Craig saying goodbye? Is he saying I'm out?
Oh yeah, probably because it's the top of the hour. We should probably.
So for those of you who just joined, we do this every Monday through Thursday at 9:00 Eastern, 6:00 Pacific. This time of year, it's basically 6:00 in the morning in Arizona that we do this. We go live on YouTube on the Live with Brent and Mike channel. If you want to follow us and get engaged and be part of the community that we're building on Slack, have the conversation go back and forth, see some of the source material that we use here, head to livewithbrentmike.com. And Brent, I say, well, I know I'm going to do this tomorrow.
You have to be here tomorrow. I am on a plane flying to Atlanta, Georgia for my youngest daughter's wedding. So I will not be back with y'all until Monday. Mike's going to fly this ship tomorrow and Thursday.
And I can assure you it will not have the same level of, actually, I don't know. I'm not going to assure anybody anything. I guess you have to show up tomorrow and see what happens.
Just show up. You want me to send you the musical clips? I know how excited you are about playing the music between each of the segments.
I think you should send them to Craig so that Craig can add them to his playlist and he can listen to them while he's like in between.
I believe they're in the Google Drive.
Questions today.
They are in the Google Drive.
See, perfect.
Sorry.
Awesome. Perfect, Craig.
Good times. Thanks for showing up today, Craig. Appreciate you hanging out in the comments. And
all right. Brent, have fun. Have fun in Atlanta.
Thank you,
luck
sir.
With the wedding. Keep it together when you're taking everybody down memory lane, and it's gonna be awesome. Have fun. So be in the moment. Like, just to appreciate the moment. Sit back and just watch and observe and be like, and appreciate how. What this next stage looks like. That's pretty awesome stuff. Too often you get so into it. I know I do. I get so into it.
Yeah.
I forget.
No, you're right.
Watch and observe. Watch, observe, and maybe I'll send you a text message to remind you.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I could probably use that.
Linda will smack you for looking at your phone.
Why are you looking at your phone?
All right.
Okay, tomorrow, folks. Join Mike tomorrow, and I'll see you on Monday. Adios, everybody. I'm trying to find that button.